which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for arms of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failure, stain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise, for all life is a gift, which we are called to use, to build the common good, and make our own days glad.
You may be seated. Our reading this morning is A Harvest of Gratitude, number 656 in your gray hymnal. I will read the plain text and ask that you read the words written in italics. Once more the fields have ripened to harvest, and the fruitful earth has fulfilled the promise of spring.
The work of those who labor has been rewarded. They have sown and reaped, planted and gathered.
How rich and beautiful is the bounty gathered, the golden grain and the clustered corn, the grapes of purple and green,
The crimson apples and yellow pears, and all the colors of the orchard and garden, vineyard and field.
Season follows after season, after winter spring, after summer the harvest-laden fall.
From bud to blossom, from flower to fruit, from seed to bud again, the beauty of earth unfolds.
From harvest of the soul we are given occasion to garner the harvest of the heart and mind.
A harvest of resolve to be careful stewards of all life's gifts and opportunities.
A harvest of reverence for the wondrous power of life at work in all things that grow and in the soul.
A harvest of gratitude for every good which we enjoy, and a fellowship for all who are sustained by earth's beauty.
Thank you. We all have memories of time spent with family and friends during the years that have passed. And if we're lucky, we even have stories of those who came before us. These memories are part of the harvest of relationships, one to another. Memories that may outlast those who shared those times with us, but still carried somewhere in the deepest recesses of our souls, ready to bloom once again, just as the blooms of spring bulbs smile once again for us each year. Perhaps they're memories that are coaxed from us by familiar songs or a scent, by a familiar face or event, or by seemingly nothing at all. We are all keepers of memories, and there are times when they must be brought out of their recesses and shared. Please reflect on this briefly. Sometimes you will never know the value of a memory until it becomes shared with others. Sometimes you never know the value of something until it is a memory. Amy Lotson Roberts, a resident of St. Simon's Island for most of her life, is the executive director of the St. Simon's African American Heritage Coalition and is an island tour guide of more than 20 years' experience. She attended the Old Harrington School and currently lives on the island's south end. She traces her roots in America to the landing of the Wanderer, a slave ship that landed in 1858 on Jekyll Island. She descended from the Spaulding family, owners of a plantation on Sapelo Island, as well as the Ashantilli House in Darien. Her family tree includes Phoebe Murphy, the mother of legendary Hazel Floyd of Hazel's Cafe on Demery Road, and Samuel Spaulding, a grandfather. A road on the south end of St. Simon's bears the family name of Lotson. She is the recipient of a number of awards, including the Georgia Governor's Award for the Arts and Humanities, the NAACP Image Award, and the Golden Isles Hospitality Shared Vision Award. She is much in demand these days because she has co-authored Gullah Geechee Heritage of the Golden Isles, along with Patrick Holliday. I've asked her to bring copies of that book with her, so you might have the opportunity to purchase one. Miss Helen, who did not get here in time to introduce herself to all of you, is back there with her daughter, Miss Robin, will handle the sales for you after the service. Money from book sales goes to Harrington School. Above all, Miss Amy is a memory keeper, and this carries with it a great responsibility. Her message to you today is precious memories.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Oh, good morning. How are you this morning? I'm feeling good, and I'm sorry I was a few minutes late. But that's the way I am. You know, I got up for many years early in the morning and had to be to work at a certain hour. And so, you know, after you get a certain age, you said, forget it. Let's do something different. So that's what I do. Some days I'm supposed to be at Harrington at 10 o'clock, and I love Harrington. And some of my most precious memories is at Harrington. Now, I didn't go there very long because I'm still a young woman. And they closed in 1954. And when they closed in 1954, they bused us all over to Brunswick. But before I get to that, I gotta tell you about what life was like on St. Simon's. You know, of course, I'm not close enough.
I'm sorry, it's just the hearing of people.
Oh, okay. Now, is this close enough?
That's fine.
Okay.
A
A little closer. All right, well, there was always Hazel's, and there was also Mr. Proctor's store, which is, I think they call that the Amen Corner. So those two things was always there. I always remember them. Of course, my church was there too, so I remember that too. And of course, I had to go to church every Sunday. That was a must. My parents did not permit me to lay in bed, have a headache, have a cold, sore throat, whatever. They didn't play that. So every Sunday. My mother was usher. So she knew what time I got there and what time I left. Okay? I was not allowed to sit by my father because we talked too much. Okay? I wasn't allowed to sit by my friends because children do naughty things in church. They don't do right. Okay. Eat candy and run to the bathroom. And of course, when the pastor got up to preach, no one could move. You had to sit there, hold it, so you couldn't drink much water. Now, that was church. I was in every organization there was in the church. I remember those times, and I remember those old ladies who tried to teach me what was right. They did a good job, because I'm still moving, still going along.
Amen.
Okay? And one of their things was you help those in need. That was one of the first things. Now, at first, I lived close to where St. Simon's Elementary gate is, where the bus go in. If you know about that particular area, that was close to the pier. Well, living down there, I played with everybody. I even remember those little bad, no, I shouldn't say that, those energetic, Bendig boys. Okay, I remember them. Okay, I remember the Brockingtons. I remember everybody that's up there because I played with them. We played every day during the summer. And in, oh God, but we cooked some food back there that you would really go, what? We had collard greens, fried fish. We cooked everything back there. The leaves was just delicious. They really was, and I think they might have been healthy because I'm still here. Okay, I met a lot of friends while I lived in that area. And because I lived, it was Miss Dolly Thomas. She was the sweetest old lady. She must have been, I'm gonna say about 90. And she used to ask me to get her medicine for her out of the refrigerator every day. And I would get the medicine, and it had the, it had garlic in it, right? I would go get it and give it to her. She'd take a little sip of it, and I go take it back. Every day I did it, morning and evening. And then next door was this family that this woman liked to cook. Her name was Miss Ada. She liked to cook, and she was good. I gotta tell this, I tell everything I know, okay? This young lady over here, my friend, that's Cornelius Bailey's daughter. She is my friend. And we've been friends for a long time. I won't tell you because she's much younger than me. Okay, I will say that much. I won't say how old you are. Okay, now, and her mother used to cook a lot. And I used to go over, and Miss Ada was Cornelius' sister. And, you know, I just said, I don't want it. Go ahead and try it, she would say. You would try everything. She could cook good. She cooked very, very well. And then she moved back to Sapelo. And so that was okay. That was okay. But she taught me a lot of things about just plain old life. About how you take to other people, how you help other people. And one of the things, which is very hard to do, not criticize people so much. Accept them for who they are and what they are, okay? Now, we'll move on down the street. My godmother was a very sweet woman. She was a domestic worker. And her husband stayed on the road a lot because he worked for Fendig Sign Company. So he was out of town a lot. Oh, she was just the sweetest little thing. She would come over to my house and we would look at Gunsmoke together. All right. We had the television in the neighborhood. So look at Gunsmoke, and after Gunsmoke, the children had to go home because they had to get ready for church because Gunsmoke came on Saturday nights, or Saturday afternoon. Who remember Howdy Doody Time? Well, you guys older than you look. Okay, we used to watch that on Saturday mornings, okay? Interesting, right? Learn a lot from that because he was always caring and working with people. Caring and working with people. Do you know that it's wonderful to be a child forever? Huh? I'm just an overgrown child. That's who I am. Because I'm always into stuff. I want to try to help everybody I can. Now, we talked about faith. And my memories keep my faith going. Because when we started the schoolhouse, and I've been working with the schoolhouse for 20 years. Well, I'll be 21. That's just, I'm still pretty young, but listen, it'll wear you out. And some of the people that I worked with wasn't as kind. Because why would you want to redo an old schoolhouse? That was the message that they kept giving me. I said, I've been away and I've learned that you have to give something back to your community. That's a must and a plus for anyone. You give back to the community. And I knew everybody in the community. Like right now, we have a mission going on, and we try to take care of our senior citizens. Seniors is some of the hardest people to work with. All right? Now, I'm getting there. But they're some of the hardest people to work with because they take a lot of time. And you have to have that time to sit down, talk to them, and make them feel good. You know what I mean? When we are out with our seniors and we try to take them out once a year, we can't do it any often than that. But we invite them to one of the churches and make them a big lunch and take pictures, have photos, just having people just snapping pictures and everything of it. Oh, they have a wonderful time. And this is the time of year that we do it, Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving time. Okay, back to some more of my memories, but that's a good memory, and we allow them to tell us things. They tell you all kinds of things, okay? But you have to listen. They always want you to listen to them, which is a good thing. And sometimes it's good to pick up the phone and call the senior and say, "Hi, this is Amy, and I want to tell you that I love you." How about that? Isn't that wonderful? But now there are other people in the community that need that too now. Not just the seniors, but there are other people. Let's not forget, we try to call everyone we can. We have Hazel's Cafe. The one thing I like about Hazel's is that we were relatives, and she used to take me crabbing. My daddy had us to make our crab basket using a bicycle rim and a net. We had to sew it on the bicycle rim. But it was pretty heavy after a while, you couldn't lift it up but so often. And we didn't have to use a brick or anything to hold it down because the crab would just float right on in. Now, Hazel used to go out there every Wednesday And if we were good, we could go with them. Well, I'm always good. What can I tell you? And there was a cow farm next to Hazel where people bought milk, fresh milk. But the milk didn't work for me. We had problems. I couldn't drink it. I had to drink the other milk. So, but when we would go crabbing, and we would crab, and she said, okay, got your box, you got whatever you put your crabs in, make sure you put your crabs in it, right? And if we had more crabs than she had, she would take half our crabs. But that was okay. We was with her, and she was family. And what she made was deviled crabs. And she would sell them in the restaurant. Now, how did the restaurant get started? Hazel worked for the, she used to work in the boat yard here in Brunswick. And what she did was, they closed the boat yard down. Hazel said, this is it. So I guess she got a little fat check for retirement. And she decided that she was going to do the cafe. I will not work for anyone else. This is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to set up and sell food from here. She was a good cook, by the way. She can make turkey wings taste like oxtails. But that was good. That was a good thing. Now remember now, we didn't have much money. Things were slow and you know, people was just trying to do the best that they could do. Well, she would cook and people would go by and buy her food, and that was it. St. Simon's had a lot of visitors on St. Simon's, African Americans and other folk. Now, a lot of them were Northerners, and every now and then they would go into Hazel's and buy them a little meal. And of course, the other people that lived in rooming houses, they would stop by Hazel's and buy their food because they couldn't cook. Okay, you had the Cloister, the King and Prince, and a few other little places around there where they worked, and so that's how they made their living. Now, is someone keeping up with the time? Because I could go on forever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What time did I get started? Can anyone tell me?
About 5 minutes off.
About
5 minutes of 11.
Okay. Well, let's call it look like it's got, okay. It's 11:15. Don't worry, it's coming to an end. I was trying to think of a joke or something, and I couldn't to play as an opener, but I couldn't think of anything. Isn't that terrible? Couldn't think of a thing. But anyway, I'm getting to this point that in working with the school, it has really been challenging. And I have met a lot of people that love me and a lot of people that hate me. They didn't say that, but their actions. So be careful when you're talking with people and working with people, because it could go either way on you. All right? And so I try to go the right way, but sometimes they flip on me, you know, and that's why I have to stay prayed up, because if I'm not, I will lose it. Okay? Now, I have some people come to visit me all the time at the schoolhouse. Do you know where it is? It's 291 Harrington, South Harrington. Please come by to visit me. Do not come at 10 o'clock or 10:30, because I won't be there. I get there around 11. Is that right? About 11. Yeah, I get there around 11. Because I have to go to the pier. I have to talk to the tour guides down at the pier. You know, You guys coming by today? No. Okay. See you later. You know, stuff like that. I'm all into everybody else's business. That's what it is. So I have to stop at the pier. Now, the schoolhouse for me, going to school there was wonderful. Mrs. Johnson was the sweetest little lady that you ever did meet. She had legs about that big. But she could play the piano, she could sing, and she made outfits for us to have plays and all kinds. I remember all that stuff. I remember how my mother knew what was happening at Harrington before I could get home. Have you ever heard of a party line? Party lines was wow. All you had to do was pick up and listen to the other person's conversation, and you'll know everything. So, and then when I see my mother standing outside waiting on me to get out the car, I knew that she knew what was happening. Now, Harrington, we had to learn all kinds of things, Bible verses, scriptures, but I love going out and playing in the yard. It was just so nice. I have a window there, you know, that I sat by the window, looked at the big woodpeckers, looked at the squirrels running up and down the tree. Nature is beautiful, isn't it? If you just pay attention, you can learn a lot from that. Of course, we played marbles. Could you believe that I could get on my knees and shoot a marble across the room? I could. I can't do it now, but I did. We played softball, hopscotch. We did a whole lot of things. One of the things that we was taught, that you do not use food to make crafts unless you're going to eat it. So we used sticks, berries that wasn't poisonous, leaves in order to make our arts and crafts, which was a good thing. If you notice now, the kids come home and they have their little toys, their little game, and they use macaroni. So by the time they get home, the macaroni is gone. You just have the string. Here, Mommy, I made this for you. Cute, right? What happened to the little kids? Did I lose them? They left. Oh, okay. But isn't that something? So, you know, you try to teach them right. We used to go walking and we picked up shells, all kinds of shells. And, you know, it's close to the march, so we got a chance to see a lot of things. Got a chance to see the deer that used to run by. We don't have many deers now running by because it's too many people. Now, I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but I mean, I still like the deers running around, the raccoons and the squirrels, and the possums. I still like to see that. Those are good memories for me, okay? It was good memories to ride the school bus to Brunswick. The only thing I didn't like about the school bus, I was sick every morning, you know. I would eat my breakfast and then I'd go to school, I'd be sick. And so my parents have to come pick me up. My parents got wise, made me carry a backpack. They didn't have to come pick me up because I could change my clothes. So that wasn't so kind. Okay? The other thing was that when I played with the children that went to school on South End, you know, they said that I was the teacher's pet. Why would they say that? That wasn't true. The man was just a member of my church, you know. And he didn't like me any better than he liked them, because he used to paddle me all the time. My friend over there called it the Board of Corrections. Something called Big Boy. Oh, I hated that thing. Terrible. Even though the school had about 40 children that was there at one time, but they were older boys that they had to stay home sometime to help their parents or help go fishing or do something in the house to help provide food. Well, that went on. That was nice. But on Fridays, we had a lady that brought us lunch. Hot dogs, lemonade, and a slice of cake. Let me tell you, that was on it. But I still like, my best lunch was cornbread and cheese. You sit it out in the sun, let it melt down, you know what I mean? And that cheese get all soft. Oh, and that bread be warm. It's really good. You gotta try it, don't knock it. And then in school, sometimes if we had a little cooking class, we would iron our peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, covered with wax paper. And, just iron them down. Listen, don't knock it. Don't knock it. Try it. But they wouldn't let me iron my cheese and cornbread like it. But I could do the peanut butter and jelly. Okay? Now, there's a thing now, kids always saying, I want Kool-Aid, I want Kool-Aid. What Kool-Aid? I don't know anything about Kool-Aid. I know about lemonade. Oh, we made the best lemonade at that school. It was really good. The other thing was that going back on South End with the children there, they were my class, they were my friends. I didn't get a chance to see them very often, so when we played hard. Demery Park was there, and the fire station was next door to Demery Park. Now, you know what, little children are smart, but sometimes I question the thing because they would come, we would go out across a pond to go to the park to keep from walking on the street. Okay, possibly get hit by a car or something, you know? So we would go across this pond. In this pond had little snakes in it. And we used to start running, right? And run across the pond. Well, you know, we went in the water and everything. And by the time we get to the other side and stand up and watch the snakes come up to the bank, they couldn't come up on the bank, but they came that way going back into the mud up under there, you know. And, you know, we said, we got to stop doing this. This looks dangerous, you know. We kept doing it every time. We walk around and eat people fruit off their trees. Oh, those Japanese plums are so nice. Those oranges were so good. That plums, you know, I don't see many of those now. Those old fashioned plums, the red ones and the yellow ones, I don't see any of those anymore. I guess, did they stop growing? Or did something happen? Something must have happened. What else? It was just a big, big mess. Because the fruit had all disappeared. That's not fair. It's not fair to the young people. The grapes, you know, going on the grape harbor. That is so wonderful. Well, I have enjoyed talking with you and telling you a little bit some of my memories. But now I want to get down to some business, okay? And let me tell you what the business is. Do you have pencil and paper? Because I do not want you to forget. Well, try to put on your best thinking cap so you can remember this, okay? All right, we are going to have a banquet at Marsh's Edge on the 16th, which is next week, Saturday coming, okay? I would love to see all of you there. But if you can't make it, I understand it. Well, I'm at the schoolhouse Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 11 to 2. Please drop in and say hello to me. And what is my other one? See, I should have wrote it down. Oh, yeah, don't forget the book out there, but you can't miss that. She got it all laid out and everything.
What time on the 16th?
Well, you have a conflict anyway.
Well, I know, but if it doesn't.
Okay, well, that's right. What time? It's at 4 o'clock. Now listen, and why it's so early is because, you know, when we get a certain age, our sight is not as good as it used to be. Now, I said our. I didn't say you. Our sight is not as good as it used to be. So if, you know, that's so you can get out early. Because it get early, really, about 5 o'clock or 5:30. But I promise you, you will enjoy this banquet. They are some of the nicest people over there. And serve some of the best food. But anyway, that's just a thought. Now, I need my bag. I need my bag. I was supposed to whip it out first.
I would like to tell you you're in for something that takes a while to go through that bag.
No. I got it straight. I got it together this time. I mean, it takes a long time when I'm at the job. But just think of it. Don't think of it as a job. It's a free service that I give them. You know what I mean? It's like a freebie. Did you see the front of this? Oh.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay, and I'm almost finished. If you let me do
This is a shared joke between Amy and I. My experience with a Baptist minister who came to our church near outside Atlanta, he kept saying, "Now look at your Bible." And I don't have to tell you, nobody moved. And he said it several times during the sermon, and he kept looking around. And I said, "Amy, don't ask us to check our Bibles." So that's what this next part is about.
Okay. Well, see, I did bring a Bible. Okay, now listen. I want to thank all of you for inviting me. I gave you all the information you need. But if you have any more, please drop in and see me. Now, I was reading my book. You see how old it is, right? Okay, I was reading this poem, and this has a lot to do with what I do and who I am. And it says, "My thanks. People everywhere in life, from every walk and station, and from every town and city, and every state and nation, have given me so many things intangible and dear. I couldn't begin to count them all, or even make them clear. I only know I owe so much to people everywhere. And when I put my thoughts in verse, it's just a way to share the musing of a thankful heart, a heart much like your own. For nothing that I think or write is mine and mine alone. So if you found some beauty in any word or line, it's just your soul reflection in proximity with mine. And thank you so very much. You're welcome.
Thank you, Miss Amy, and may we all be good stewards of our memories. It inspires you to want to go home and write down a few things you remember from your own hometown, things other people don't know. Miss Amy spoke about a St. Simon's that I first saw as an 11-year-old girl, and we still had rationing then. It was a long time ago, and at that time I said, I'm going to move here. I didn't know it would take us 70 years before I would buy a house, but we did come whenever we could. It was a beautiful island then, and I wish you had seen it, but you got to enjoy it a little bit today. The offering will now be taken, followed by Precious Memories by the choir. You'll find the words to our Chalice extinguishing in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.